viewers in Nigeria and around the world to News Cycle on Global Television, coming to you live from the nation's capital, Abuja. I am Shehu Said. A quick reminder that Global Television is on DSTV channel 365 and StarTimes 276. The House of Representatives has sworn in 3 new members. They are Omosode Igbenedion from Edo State, Felix Bagudu from Kaduna State, and Mukhtar Raju from Jigawa State. The Speaker, Tajuddin Abbas, announced the presence of the new members in the Halo chambers at the resumption of plenary sitting after the Clerk of the House ushered the 3 new APC members into the Green chambers. It will be recalled that INEC ordered Omosode Igbenedion as announced Omosode Igbenedion as the winner of the recent by-election in Ovia Federal constituency, who garnered a total of 77,053 votes to emerge the winner. The seat in the National Assembly became vacant in September 2024 after Dennis Idahosa, representing Ovia Federal constituency, emerged as Deputy Governor. Felix Bagudu, who is a replacement for the late Labour Party's Ekene Adams for Chikun Kajuru Federal Constituency, Kaduna State, polled a total of 34,580 votes to emerge victorious. The 3rd new member, Mukhtar Raju, representing Gariki Babura Federal Constituency, polled 38,449 votes to emerge victorious in the by-election. Professor Mahmoud Yakubu has concluded his tenure as the chairman of the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC. His departure, which comes as his 2nd and final 5-year term, is expected to end in November 2025, which has prompted a transition in leadership. Following his stepping down, Mayor Agbamuche Mbu, a seasoned legal practitioner and national commissioner for INEC, has taken over the affairs of the commission in an acting capacity. She also chairs INEC's Legal Services, Clearance and Complaints Committee. Professor Yakubu made the announcement during a meeting with the resident electoral commissioners on Tuesday. The context of his departure is his constitutional term limit. He had previously stepped down at the end of his first term in November 2020 before being re-nominated by the President and confirmed by the Senate for his 2nd term. In an emotionally charged speech, the outgoing chairman expressed his profound gratitude, thanking the staff and resident electoral commissioners for their dedication, commitment, and hard work throughout his time leading the electoral body. And as part of activities to commemorate the 2025 Customer Service Week, the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, has reiterated its commitments to service excellence, transparency, and innovation in public service delivery. Sadia Yakubu was there for Global Television.
INEC Chairman Mahmoud Yakubu, speaking during the opening ceremony held at the Commission's headquarters in Abuja, said the Customer Service Week serves as a reminder of INEC's dedication to the public. Customer Service Week reminds us that every moment, that every comment, every inquiry responded to, and every concern addressed strengthens a commitment to the public interest, Mahmoud stated. He described the annual observance as a platform to celebrate frontline staff and renew Commission's resolve to deliver credible, citizen-focused services across all operations. He urged staff to use the occasion not only for celebration, but also for reflection and rededication to INEC's core values. According to him, service should be viewed as prayer in action, adding that consistent efforts and integrity are vital to achieving the Commission's mandate.
I welcome you all to this year's Servicom Customer Service Week. It is a time dedicated to the celebration of excellence in service delivery, for which the Independent National Electoral Commission is in the forefront.
The acting national coordinator and chief executive officer of the Bureau of Public Service Reforms, Dr. Arabi, was represented by Ngozi Akimbodiwa. He commended INEC for its leadership in promoting transparency, citizen engagement, and data-driven governance. Arabi noted that INEC's increasing use of digital platforms and data analytics reflect global standards of transparency and accountability, positioning it as a model for service-driven governance in Nigeria. The Bureau of Public Service Reform Chief emphasized the importance of moving from reactive to proactive and from bureaucracy to responsiveness through technology and collaboration. He urged staff to embrace creativity, teamwork, and resilience in improving electoral and administrative service delivery. The 2025 celebration featured colorful decorations in blue, white, and red representing calmness, transparency, and passion respectively, symbolizing INEC's commitment to openness and trust in public service. The 2025 Customer Service Week is being marked globally from October 6th to 10th, with organizations spotlighting staff dedication, customer satisfaction, and innovation in service delivery. Sadia Yakubu reporting for Global Television. INEC Chairman Mahmoud Yakubu.
While the Independent National Electoral Commission (INEC) is hosting a high-level delegation from Ethiopia's National Election Board as part of a week-long exchange program aimed at deepening electoral cooperation and institutional learning between both countries. Sadia Yakubu again has the details.
INEC Chairman Professor Mahmoud Yakubu formally received the Ethiopian delegation, which includes officials from the National Election Board of Ethiopia and the Coalition of Ethiopians for Elections at the Commission's headquarters in Abuja. Professor Yakubu described the visit as a timely opportunity to share experiences, adopt best practices, and strengthen democratic processes across the continent.
Today, we are hosting a joint delegation from the National Election Board of Ethiopia and the Coalition of Ethiopian Civil Society Organizations for Elections, representing over 180 civil society organizations. And the joint team is here to exchange ideas and to also understudy the Nigerian electoral process.
Also speaking, Tesfaye Niwe, a representative of the Ethiopian Election Board, lauded the initiative, emphasizing its importance in fostering democratic values and institutional development across Africa.
This visit reflects our shared commitment to advancing democratic governance, credible elections, and institutional excellence across our continent. Allow me to extend our sincere gratitude to GIZ for organizing, coordinating, and supporting this important exchange visit.
The week-long engagement will feature knowledge-sharing sessions, peer-review discussions, and networking opportunities aimed at improving electoral management, voter education, and operational planning. Key stakeholders from both nations were represented at the meeting, underlining the shared commitment to strengthening electoral integrity and democratic governance through cross-border partnership. The exchange visit underscores a growing trend of intra-Africa cooperations in election management, signaling a collective effort to advance democratic consolidation on the continent. Sadia Yakubu, reporting for Global Television.
The Kiaja Youth Empowerment Initiative has celebrated its one-year anniversary, highlighting its commitment to youth development, skills acquisition, and community growth. Ubang Usoro reports.
The anniversary celebration brought together youth leaders, partners, stakeholders to reflect on the impact of the Kiaja Youth Empowerment Initiative over the past year. Since its establishment, the organization has focused on equipping young people with entrepreneurial skills, leadership training, and opportunities for self-reliance. The MD CEO of the initiative, Tina King, says our goal is to build confident, skilled, and resourceful young people who can contribute meaningfully to the growth of the nation.
When I visited Nigeria, what I saw on the street corners, Your Excellency, were our children hawking in the streets. Our children hawking in the streets. And that broke me. That drove me to tears. I grew up in this country. Like I said, I left from this country when I was 23. I saw people hawk. But I was never privy to see, I don't know if it's a privilege, but I was never privy to see children hockey during my time of growing up. But that's how KJ came about.
The wife of the former vice president, a special guest of honor during the anniversary celebration in Abuja, said empowering young people is a key to national development, and she is proud of the work Keja is doing.
Some people are running away, and she's trying to come back to come and take care of Nigeria's children. Mrs. Tina King, you have done very well.
Dr. Remy Chukwunyere, the guest lecturer, while speaking, says youth empowerment must go beyond training. It must provide platforms where young people can apply their skills and create value for themselves and the society.
Now, often we think security, especially for government people, is all about guns, buying more guns, equipping the army, increasing the budget. Can you listen? Increasing the defense budget. But unfortunately, the main thing that will bring security is being neglected, which is youth development.
The event also featured fundraising, exhibition, and testimonies from beneficiaries whose lives have been transformed through the initiative. Ubong Usoro, reporting for Global Television.
The Federal Ministry of Budget and National Planning, in collaboration with the Partnership for Agile Governance and Engagement, has launched a guide to accessing climate finance in Abuja. The event, held as a breakout session at the 31st Nigerian Economic Summit, aims to help Nigeria unlock the trillions of dollars available globally for climate action. Again, Ubong Usoro reports.
Climate finance is money set aside globally to address the challenges of climate change through mitigation and adaptation measures. Yet, Nigeria has struggled for years to access its fair share of these funds. The concern brought stakeholders together at this launch to chart a new course through the unveiling of a practical guide to accessing climate finance. The Minister of Finance and Coordinating Minister of the Economy, Wale Edun, in his keynote titled "Why Nigeria Struggle to Access Climate Finance," emphasized that the major challenge lies in limited institutional readiness, weak proposal development capacity, and fragmented governance systems. He says there is need to align fiscal reforms with climate ambitions.
Embedding climate priorities into public finance management through green budgeting, ensuring federal and states reflect our transition goals. And of course, bankable projects where strengthening capacity at the ministries, agencies, and state levels to prepare investment-ready proposals.
National team leader Pace Ifeanyi Ugoke says the guide is a practical toolkit. It maps out over 90 climate finance sources, including 18 priority funds that are easier to access. It also helps states and businesses understand the process, eligibility, and how to build capacity for successful applications.
The returns is significant, as you can imagine. Investing in climate smart agriculture, creating jobs, enabling new businesses, stabilizing operations, improving efficiency, driving the green market.
Head of Development Cooperation at the British High Commission, Cynthia Rowe, says the guide supported by United Kingdom through the Partnership for Agile Governance and Engagement is part of efforts to make climate financing more inclusive and accessible across the Nigeria's public and private sector.
For me, I've never really been a fan of the word donor. For me, it's much more about being a partner, and I think we are moving more and more to being an investor. I see our contributions to the Nigerian development team as an investor rather than a donor, so I do like to move away from that language.
The launch is said to mark the beginning of a new era in Nigeria's climate action, one that connects knowledge with access and opportunities with implementation. Ubong Usoro, reporting for Global Television.
You are watching the live broadcast of News Cycle. When News Cycle returns, President Tinubu seeks NAS approval for $2.3 billion external borrowing, $500 million sovereign sukuk. Details coming shortly, plus sport and foreign stories on the other side of this break. Please stay with us. Welcome back. Now talking business, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has requested the approval of the House of Representatives for new external borrowing and debt refinancing totaling $2.3 billion, alongside the issuance of a $500 million debut sovereign sukuk in the national capital market. The request, contained in the letter read on the floor of the House of Representatives by the Speaker Tajuddin Abbas, the President seeks the National Assembly's resolution in line with sections 21, 1 and 271 of the Debt Management Office Establishment Act 2003. According to the President, the new borrowing is aimed at implementing provisions of the 2025 Appropriation Act, refinancing maturing Eurobonds and diversifying Nigeria's funding sources through Islamic finance instruments. Nigeria's lawmakers are turning their attention to the fast-growing world of digital finance. Speaker of the House of Representatives Tajuddin Abbas says the country must urgently create a legal framework to regulate cryptocurrency and point-of-sale operations to protect citizens and the economy from emerging risks. Our National Assembly correspondent Aniete Patrick has details.
At the National Assembly in Abuja, the conversation is shifting to the digital economy and how Nigeria can regulate it. The clearing opened the House Ad Hoc Committee on the Economic, Regulatory and Security Implications of Cryptocurrency and the POS Operations. Speaker Tajuddin Abbas, represented by the House Whip Usman Kumo, described the assignment as a national call to action. The Speaker noted while cryptocurrency and POS transactions are now vital to global commerce, they also carry serious risks, including cybercrime, fraud, and money laundering. He called for a clear policy framework that balances innovation with protection for consumers and financial system.
As a parliament, we need a legislation to guide the operations of these very important digital financial transactions that will guide the House and help us in formulating a regulatory framework.
Committee Chairman Olufemi Bamishele also expressed concern that many fintech platforms have become tools for scammers, saying regulators are struggling to keep up with rapid digital changes.
Let us be frank. Many fintech entails in our countries still lack robust protections for their consumers. Their platforms have regrettably become platforms of choice of scammers who flee incessant on innocent Nigerians day after day. If ignored, this risk could compromise not only our financial stability, but also our national security.
The committee is expected to consult stakeholders across the financial and technology sectors as it crafts recommendations for a new digital finance law. Aniete Patrick, reporting for Global TV.
The Benue State government, in partnership with the Federal Ministry of Labor and Employment, is sponsoring 39 artisans from the state for training and job placement in the Republic of Belarus. Global television correspondent Felicity Indere reports that the initiative is part of an international job placement program aimed at improving skills and creating employment opportunities.
The Benue State government is investing in human capacity development through the National Artisan Skills Acquisition Initiative, a program designed to train artisans in selected trades and expose them to modern technologies abroad.
We will do a quarterly monitoring visitation to them, just to check up on them, find out how they are faring, what's going on with them, if they're experiencing any problems, and how we can continue to guide them.
The Director General of Entrepreneurship Development and Wealth Creation, Benita Shirua, says the state is sponsoring 39 beneficiaries to the Republic of Belarus under a renewable 5-year program. She explains that the training will enable participants to acquire advanced skills and return home to train others.
This program is meant to train youth and place them in different companies where they would learn skills, acquire knowledge, and then do a transfer of technology to our boys, and they can come back home and be self-sufficient and help other Benue indigents. So His Excellency was great.
On the foreign scene, dozens of international activists who joined a Gaza aid flotilla have landed in Tunis and Madrid after being deported from Israel. The flotilla, made up of 45 vessels, has set out to breach Israel's blockade and deliver urgently needed aid to Gaza, where the United Nations says famine has taken hold. Mukhtar Qasim reports.
Israeli authorities confirmed that more than 400 people were detained after their boats were intercepted at sea earlier this week. The flotilla's organizers say they were on a purely humanitarian mission, but Israel accused them of violating its maritime restrictions on Gaza. Many of the deportees' activists say they were subjected to harsh conditions during the detention and questioned for hours before being flown out.
Para ya llevarnos a la cárcel, pasamos por un trámite también humillante en el que nos robaron prácticamente todos nuestros objetos personales y nos dejaron apenas un par de prendas de ropa a la mayoría.
The group, which included doctors, journalists and human rights advocates, said the mission was meant to draw global attention to the worsening humanitarian crisis in Gaza. Israel maintains that the blockade is necessary for security reasons, but critics argue it has deepened civilian suffering in the enclave. As the deportee activists return home, they vow to continue pushing for unrestricted humanitarian access, even as tensions over Gaza's future remains high. Mukhtar Qasim, reporting for Global Television News.
Nigeria's powerlifting contingent to Cairo for 11th edition. Excitement is high as Team Nigeria's powerlifting contingent departed Nigeria on Tuesday, October 7, for the 11th World Powerlifting Championships set to take place in the World Championships to be hosted on African soil, symbolizing a new era for the sport on the continent. The first batch of Team Nigeria athletes left the country on Tuesday amid cheers and well wishes from officials, fans and supporters. The second batch of the contingent is scheduled to depart tomorrow, October 8, from Lagos, completing the full team that will represent the nation at this landmark competition. With this sports news, we come to the end of our news cycle. Hope to join you later on News Prime at 8 p.m. Thanks for watching. I remain yours, Sheikh Said.